Hi everyone, Matt Stuart here with Coldwell Banker, Ronan Realty. Here today to recap my bold predictions from 2022. We're going to go watch the video and then we're going to get my insight. We're going to see how accurate I was and how wrong I was. So we'll get a good insight in what happened in the year. So let's go ahead. We're going to start playing the video and go through my bold predictions.
My prediction for the market in 2022, I think we're going to see a 10 to 12% increase in the average purchase price. This is strongly on the supply and demand issue that we are facing currently, and the fact that any inventory that comes up is relatively quickly sold, whether it's a rural property, a regular residential property, or a specialty type like waterfront. All of those types of inventory right now are moving very quickly. So I think that's going to lead to a 10 to 12% increase year over year.
Well, we know on that one I was 100% wrong. So I predicted 10 to 12% increase based on what was happening in the market. Now we did see that 10 to 12% increase, but it happened from December of 21 until March of 22. After that, we saw basically the great decline in the market for this year. We ended up sitting at January, we were at 1,237,000 was our average purchase price for Simcoe County. We saw that number drop down to 873,000, which was a 29% change in pricing on the negative. So was I right? Yeah, I was right until March, and then the rest of the year I was completely wrong.
Number two is going to be the interest rates. I think we're going to see 3 rate hikes this year. Money is still relatively cheap, but those 3 rate hikes for people who are trying to get in the market are going to be crucial. So I think if you are looking to buy, and even if you're considering selling in 2022, doing it earlier will be better than doing it later. I think the rate increases will start to trim the market a little bit. I don't think it's going to affect the pricing, but I think it's going to affect a lot of buying power on those entry-level first-time home buyers, or even people who are buying into a more popular market.
So with the rate increases, I was kind of correct. We ended up with 7 rate hikes, which is the most that's ever happened in a calendar year. So it was kind of an anomaly thing, again, taking the whole thing with COVID and everything. The weird trends just keep on happening. We saw 7 rate hikes. Now, with those rate hikes, we did see the fall in pricing. So again, I was wrong on that first prediction. But that 7 rate hikes, when I did the math on it, buying later actually was more beneficial. So again, I was wrong in my video. I know that. So what we did see though is people getting more of an opportunity to purchase. And then as the year progressed with the rate hikes, we actually saw affordability kind of pull back again. But we haven't seen a huge influx of inventory, so it's still in that kind of seller's market. But again, for the rate increases, I said 3. There was actually 7. So bold prediction number 2, I was incorrect.
My third prediction is going to be this year. I think it's going to be a continuation into 2023 and 24. I think we're going to see a huge transfer of wealth. Now, from the baby boomer generation down to the millennial generation and the ones coming up, I think we're going to see a huge transfer of gifting loans, estates. We're going to see just a lot of wealth coming to those generations who are trying to enter the market, which is going to, again, help with pushing pricing up because it's going to create that more competition. But it's also going to allow people that can't get into the market in 2021 to get in the market in 2022.
So for my prediction there with generational wealth and that transfer, there's no real statistic to give us a yes or no. I think I was pretty accurate in that. I did see a lot of buyers that were coming in, getting gift loans from mom and dad, from their grandparents. Typically what happens is money would go to the state and then transfer. I'm seeing people do it before that happens. So I think there was a good generational transfer of wealth that's happening and still occurring, which did help to those strong numbers we saw at the start of the year. And it also helped those buyers throughout the rest of the year that were trying to sneak into the market or doing upgrades. So I think with that bold prediction, I was actually accurate.
My fourth prediction for the 2022 market is we're going to see the rise of joint ventures. So this is going to be families that are purchasing together. This is going to be friends that are buying together, or it can be groups of individuals purchasing multifamily type residential properties to start establishing wealth in order to then pull equity from that asset to then buy their primary residence. But I think that's going to be a big trend we're seeing going forward. People grouping together money in order to purchase something bigger to then in the future be able to pull that wealth to buy that primary residence.
So for that one, kind of along with the generational wealth, there's no real way to gauge it. But I think we did see that. We saw groups of people that were buying larger properties together. Again, they're building that long-term wealth. So again, with no real way to predict that, but based on what I saw in the market, clients that I dealt with and other real estate agents I know that had clients that dealt with the same, I would say there was lots of multifamily type properties that are bought, families buying together, parents buying with kids, as well as you're having groups of friends that were buying and purchasing together. So I would say for that prediction, I was actually right. So far 2 out of 4, 2 I was wrong, 2 I was right, not bad. Let's see what my 5th prediction was.
My 5th prediction for the 2022 market is we're going to see rent increase. I think it's going to be between 3 and 5%, just because as the pricing increases, there are people that drop out of the market purchasing and then look towards renting. It's going to keep up that supply-demand issue from a rental front, and it's going to bump the prices up 3 to 5%. So if you're thinking of buying that investment property, I think now is going to be a great time because you're going to be able to capture in on the prices now, not when they've risen 10 to 12% throughout the year. And you're going to be able to capture that 3 to 5% rent increase and get good tenants in and start building long-term wealth.
Well, so for my 5th prediction, this one I wasn't entirely wrong. I was actually partially right. So we started off seeing at the end of the year, about $2,800 was the average rental price in Simcoe County. Now, when I pulled the numbers for 2022, we actually finished that around $3,115. Now, keep in mind near the end of the year, we actually saw some rentals dip off. So we finished at an 8% overall increase, but I think that number is going to stay maybe around the 6 to 7%. So I predicted 3 to 5. We probably finished around 6 to 7% in terms of increase for rentals. So for that prediction, I was correct. So I think I did all right there. 3 to 5 isn't bad. So we're going to be releasing my new video in the next coming weeks here with my bold predictions for 2023. So stay tuned for that. If you do have any questions about the market, again, feel free to reach out to me. All my contact details are below, and I can't wait for you guys to see my bold predictions for 2023.